No cap, I appreciate all my friends right here. Talil, Rakai, Reggie, thought out the whole Clover, Des, everybody. Within our community, us collabing is everything. You feel what I'm saying? So collaboration is everything. And I know this year has been very difficult, and as long as we don't tear each other apart and let that get in between us, we're gonna be just fine.
Everyone keeps saying the same thing about Kai Cenat, that his friends are the problem, that the chaos around him is the reason he's constantly under scrutiny, and that if he just cut certain people off, everything would be fine. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even if every single one of those friends disappeared tomorrow, the risk wouldn't, because what's actually putting Kai Cenat in danger isn't who he's around, it's what works. The same system that made him the biggest streamer in the world is the same system quietly turning every moment into a liability. And until that changes, this cycle doesn't end. But before we challenge that idea, we need to understand why so many people believe it in the first place. For some time, the story has been the same. Kai Cenat's friends are the problem. Every controversy, every clip, every heated argument online gets traced back to the people around him. If Kai just distanced himself from them, the thinking goes he could avoid the drama entirely. And on the surface, it makes sense. After all, Rakai, Des, Ty, and the others have all been tied to messy moments that blew up online. Clips circulate, headlines write themselves, and suddenly Kai's name is dragged into situations he didn't directly cause. This narrative is so widely accepted that it almost feels like common sense. Fans, commentators, and even casual viewers repeat it without question. They look at the chaos, see the connections, and assume cutting ties is the obvious solution. It's easy to point a finger at the people closest to him. Easy, but incomplete. Because as we'll see, the problem isn't just who surrounds Kai, it's how the entire system he thrives in treats these moments. And understanding that is key to seeing why this cycle keeps repeating, no matter who stays or goes. It's easy to see why the argument against Kai's friends feels so convincing. Rakai's reckless behavior, Dez's controversies, or Ty's chaotic moments, they're all amplified because of their association with Kai. From an outsider's perspective, it looks like a direct line. Friend misbehaves, Kai suffers the consequences. And it doesn't help that these moments are public, highly shareable, and often exaggerated in clips or headlines. Social media thrives on drama, and the algorithm ensures it reaches the people who already follow Kai. Every misstep his friends take becomes a news cycle, a discussion point, a reason for fans to question his judgment. For viewers, the solution seems simple. Distance yourself from the people causing the mess. Stop the chaos, and the problem disappears. It's intuitive, almost logical. After all, who wants their personal brand tied to constant controversy? When you only see the surface, it looks like accountability is as simple as cutting ties. And that's why so many people repeat it without realizing there's a deeper layer to how this ecosystem actually works. Here's where things get more complicated. The problem isn't just who Kai surrounds himself with, it's what surrounds him. His rise wasn't built on quiet growth or slow accumulation of followers. It was built on high energy streams, constant unpredictability, and moments that people couldn't stop talking about. Chaos isn't a byproduct of his friends. It's a feature of the system he's operating in. Every clip that goes viral, every dramatic moment that trends on Twitter or YouTube actually strengthens his brand. The same behavior that feels damaging on the surface is what keeps attention on him. That creates an incentive trap. Cut your friends, and yes, you remove some immediate drama, but you also remove the raw energy that fuels your growth. In this ecosystem, predictability is punished, and the people around you aren't the only ones keeping the chaos alive. The algorithm, the audience, the media, every external force rewards it, and that's why the just cut them off argument fails. It's too simple. It ignores the fact that attention is currency, and Kai's friends are part of the engine that generates it. Their actions aren't just personal mistakes. They're part of a system that continually reinforces itself. Walking away from them isn't just a personal choice, it's a strategic decision that could alter the very identity that made him who he is today. Cutting ties sounds simple in theory, but in practice, it's far from it. Kai Cenat didn't just build a fan base, he built an identity. His persona, his energy, and even his content are intertwined with the people around him. Rakai, Des, Ty, and the rest aren't just friends, they're part of the brand. They helped him rise, created moments that went viral, and in many ways, shaped what audiences expect from him. Walking away would mean more than losing a circle. It would mean altering the core of what made Kai Cenat relatable, entertaining, and dominant in the streaming world. Every loyal viewer who tuned in for that high-energy chaos is attached to the ecosystem. not just the individual. Changing it too quickly risks alienating the very audience that propelled him to the top. And it's not just external pressure. There's loyalty, history, and genuine connection. Kai knows these people. He's seen their growth, their struggles, and their loyalty firsthand. Holding them accountable while maintaining his brand requires a balance that few people outside the industry can understand. That's why, even when drama explodes, he can't simply step away. The decision carries consequences for both his career and the relationships that helped build it. It's easy to blame Kai's friends, but the audience isn't innocent in this cycle. Every clip highlight, every headline that spreads online contributes to the system that rewards chaos. The viewers, knowingly or not, are part of the mechanism that turns reckless behavior into content gold. Without the clicks, the shares, the algorithmic push, these moments wouldn't have the same weight. And this isn't just about passive observation. Social media incentivizes outrage, controversy, and high drama. It trains audiences to expect it, to reward it, and to amplify it. When Rakai says something wild, when Dez crosses a line, when a situation spirals, those aren't isolated incidents. They're signals in a feedback loop. The more viewers react, the more attention the content gets, and the more pressure it places on Kai to manage the fallout. This is why cutting friends isn't a silver bullet. Even if Kai distanced himself from every controversial figure, the audience's appetite for chaos doesn't disappear. The ecosystem that propelled him to fame continues to operate, and it will always find a way to create the next moment of drama, whether he's ready or not. One of the most overlooked strategies in Kai's playbook is silence. While the world expects immediate reactions, statements, and damage control, Kai often stays quiet, intentionally. It's not avoidance, it's strategy. By not responding to every controversy or every allegation, he controls the narrative differently. Silence forces the audience and the media to fill in the blanks, which paradoxically amplifies his influence rather than diminishes it. Remaining quiet also separates personal accountability from brand accountability. When friends act out, the public is quick to link their behavior directly to Kai, even when he's not involved. Choosing silence allows him to avoid overexposure, prevent misstatements, and maintain a level of control that constant commentary would undermine. Moreover, silence signals maturity in a space dominated by impulsive reactions. In the streaming world, where instant opinions dominate, taking a step back differentiates him from the chaos. It subtly shifts attention from the drama itself to the larger picture, his long-term vision. Silence becomes a tool for shaping perception, managing risk, and ultimately protecting the ecosystem he's built. It's a counterintuitive tactic that few outside the industry fully understand, but it's a quiet form of power. Beyond the controversies, there's a deeper story that often gets overlooked. Kai Cenat isn't just reacting to drama, he's planning his next move. At the Streamer Awards, he openly shared ambitions that go far beyond streaming.
I feel like at this event right now is the right time to say the things on my mind. And that's, for the past year, I've had dreams besides stream. I have dreams one day to become a fashion designer and start my own clothing brand. I have dreams to not only act, but direct and write my own short film and movies.
He's talking about building a clothing brand, creating short films, and exploring other creative lanes. It's a side of him that fans don't always see, because the headlines are dominated by chaos, not vision. This is significant because it reveals a key truth about streaming. The high-energy, unpredictable, always-on environment that built his career isn't sustainable forever.
I want to go ahead and say, you guys are way more than just streamers. Don't limit yourself to one category. Don't be boxed in to any category.
Constant chaos fuels attention, but it also burns out creators. Kai has achieved nearly everything a streamer can accomplish: record-breaking streams, massive events, awards, and recognition. At some point, the adrenaline stops being enough, and long-term goals start to matter more. In this context, the controversies around his friends aren't just distractions. They highlight the limits of a system built on chaos. Maintaining that level of intensity indefinitely is impossible. Kai's interest in reinvention signals that he's thinking strategically about the future, realizing that true longevity requires more than viral moments. So what's the takeaway here? Kai Cenat isn't just dealing with chaotic friends. He's navigating a system that rewards drama, tests loyalty, and forces him to make impossible choices. The people around him, the audience, the algorithm, they're all part of a machine that keeps spinning, whether he wants it to or not. Cutting ties might solve one problem, but it doesn't solve the ecosystem. Silence, strategy, and long-term thinking are what allow him to survive where others would burn out. If you've made it this far, subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this.